Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So tonight we're going to talk about Upton Sinclair. A lot of Americans just went, oh, God. We're forced to read him in high school here. For those overseas, he was an American author, very prolific, wrote almost 100 books, won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction. Time magazine described him as having every gift except for humor and silence. It's funny that he won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction, because most of his books are journalism, thinly disguised as fiction. Because his books were written in that manner, a lot of his journalism got out, got further, had more of an impact. A lot of his books had wide-ranging impact in the United States. The Brass Check is one of his more famous ones. And it is widely credited as being the catalyst for the Code of Ethics for journalists, the first one in the U.S. The one most people are forced to read in high school is The Jungle. It was written in 1906 about the meatpacking industry. A lot of his books dealt with working conditions, the coal industry, the auto industry, everything. But this one dealt with the meatpacking industry. And it talked about how the speed of the line that the pork moves down had a lot to do with whether or not it was clean. Line speeds. Talked about how the animals were sometimes covered in things you don't want your food covered in. And it created an outcry. Shortly thereafter, the Pure Food and Drug Act was passed. Shortly after that, the Meat Inspection Act. Upton Sinclair is widely credited as being a driving force behind that because of his book. It's when slaughterhouses started getting policed a little more. Now, fast forward to today, this week. The USDA is removing prohibitions on line speed. They're going to let slaughterhouses self-police again. Yeah. These are not companies that are socially responsible. They actually have a long track record of doing things that are, let's just say, not in the best interest of consumers and society in general. Now, it would be easy to blame this on Trump. And there is a lot of this that is his fault, because it is going through under him. However, it should be noted, in the interest of fairness, the industry has been lobbying for this for a very long time. I know it was going on under Obama. I think it was even going on under Bush. They've been trying for this for a long time because, well, it's going to make it more profitable. Now, I want you to think about that. It's going to be more profitable for them to staff the safety inspectors than it is for the government to do it. They're going to have to pay people to do this, but it's going to be more profitable. Oh, forgot to tell you, they get to develop their own standards in a lot of cases. Basically, foodborne illness from pork, it's a matter of time. Now, just something you might want to be aware of. There was a pilot program that tested this out. Almost everybody that was involved with it that spoke out said that it was just an utter failure. It was an utter failure. But we're going ahead with it anyway. It's something that we might want to keep in mind. You know, in my ideal world, yeah, companies like this would police themselves. But in my ideal world, they would police themselves. And we know that isn't what's going to happen here, because it's going to be cheaper to settle the lawsuits than it is to pay employees. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.